Hello, my name is Monique, and I have something I want to get off my mind. And the best way to do it is to go on social media and tell my story. So I'm going to talk to you all today about a young lady who was 16 years old attending her first concert as a virgin. This 16-year-old was me. I was so excited about going to see Grandmaster Flash, Sugar Hill Gang, LL Cool J, first concert. So went out, got me a little outfit, new bra and underclothes, just wanted to feel good about myself and just got my hair done, everything. So my dad drove us down to St. Louis, Missouri and picked up my cousin. We went to the concert, the two of us did. And right when Sugar Hill Gang finished performing, a man approached me and asked me if I wanted a backstage pass to go backstage to meet the rappers and everything. And I'm like, of course. It's my first concert. I was so excited. And my cousin was like, your dad's gonna be here to pick us up right after the concert. It's only one more performance left, so you need to make sure you meet us at the spot we're supposed to meet up at. I'm like, okay. I'm all excited. So he hands me a blue and silver backstage pass. And I go backstage. And I'm like, get back there. I see a bunch of girls back there. I'm like, gosh, you know, why y'all want me back here? So it's like all these girls, it's like the rooms were little raggedy little rooms, but the room that he first took me in was where Master G was at. And I remember specifically he was sitting, it was like a table, a long table, and he was sitting on the table, and girls were surrounding him all over. And so he picked me out of the crowd, and I got close. I was so excited about meeting him, you know. And he started fumbling my breast, and it hurt. And then he took my bra. He's like, I collect bras. So he took my bra, and I'm like, it's a brand new ass bra. And, I'm poor. I was only making $4 an hour, working 15, 20 hours a week, I need my bra. I just paid money for that bra. But anyway, I'm just like shocked, like, why you on my bra? So anyway, I guess he figured, okay, she's a newbie, whatever. So he did the motion like, okay, she can go, whatever. And so he again, Cowboy walked in the room. And so Cowboy grabbed me. And so he went, it was like we walk out of the door and we went to like the top of some steps or something, like towards the entranceway out, going up, back in the back of the house. And he just started kissing me and groping me. He kissed me so hard and so long that my tongue was actually swollen. And I was like, damn. I mean, it was just like, I had never been kissed like that before. And meanwhile, I'm in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I'm just like thinking I'm gonna go back there and get autographs, get some t-shirts or something that they gonna give us, whatever. Not really comprehending to what's really going on here. Then after he finished with me, Rahim came and grabbed me by the arm. Because all these girls was all over him, and he snatched me by the arm, and he drugged me. Had me follow him. Well, he was holding my hand, and we went to some little dinky ass room, and he raped me. I was 16 years old. All my life, I wanted to remain a virgin until I was married. I never thought about losing my virginity to them. I never thought losing my virginity to any guy. And he raped me. And when he finished with me, he jumped up, walked out the room, because they said bus is leaving in 5 minutes. And so he got up, and I'm sitting there, and I'm crying hysterically, bleeding, because he had a nice big thing. And I'm crying. I'm like, what? I was confused of what was going on. And I'm like, damn. Then I remember LL Cool J had just finished performing, and I remember seeing him. He looked at me and kind of had like eye contact, and he was walking. This gay guy was walking behind him. I'm not saying they was together or anything like that, but I do remember saying to myself, "Damn, LL Cool J is gay as hell," But anyway, it's here and there. So I'm like walking confused, like where the hell? I don't even know how to get up out of here. But I do remember where when Cowboy had me up, like we went up these steps and there was the back door entrance right there. Because I remember because he walked out the door when he got through forcefully kissing me, like, he left and went out that door. And so I went up out the door, and that's, of course, that was the back. That's where they buses were at. And my dad happened to be parked like right around the corner from there. So I get in the car, and my cousin goes, "So you okay?" My dad's fussing like, "How come you went with her? Where was you at?" And I'm crying, and his friend in the front seat was like, "Man, look, something is wrong with your daughter. Something happened to her while she was in there." And I'm crying, and my cousin's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I was just like, "Yeah." Fast forward the story. When school started back, sitting in sex education class, and I started crying. We was talking about rape and losing your virginity. I just started crying in class. So may my teacher rest in peace, Miss Morrison. She's a really nice lady. She called me in the hallway and she's like, "What's wrong?" Because she knew me. And I proceeded to tell her what had happened to me at that concert that I went to. So she said, "Well, go in the office and talk to the principal about telling me what you told me, and they can get the police involved and just go from there." So I said, "Okay." So I walked down, I went to the office, and the principal is Mr. Jordan. He's assistant vice principal at my high school, Springfield Southeast High School. And so I walked in the office and I was like, "Miss Morrison sent me down here to tell you about what happened to me at this concert that I went to. I was raped." And he goes, "You deserve to be raped." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah. Yeah. Now, mind you, when we first moved to Springfield, he was my principal in my junior high school. I went to Washington Middle School, and he was the principal there. And coming from East St. Louis, Illinois, people in Springfield didn't like that because back then there was a lot of riots going on, a lot of Black Panthers. My dad was a known Black Panther. And when I got into high school, I remember him throwing me up against the locker stand, telling me, "You need to tell your parents to send you back to East St. Louis because we ain't on none of that bullshit that's here." Like because people knew who my dad was. He was in the paper all the time. People knew who he was from being a Black Panther. But anyway, so he kind of like had these, you know, ill feelings towards me anyway. But I'm telling him, and then when he said that to me, he threw me up against the wall, and he's getting ready to. He went down my pants, and I'm like, "Lord, no!" But just when he was doing that, somebody knocked on the door, and I ran up out of there. Now here I'm traumatized. Like I'm getting double traumatized. Life goes on. I kind of like mentally blocked it in my head some kind of way because I realized don't nobody care. By now, I've been raped, I've been molested, I've been bullied in school. I just got so much mental trauma that's happened to me in my life. I'm just to survive. I put a lot. I just blocked it. I guess they call it a memory block. And in college, one of my friends got raped, and I didn't have full recall to what had happened. I knew something had happened to me, but I couldn't really recall it. And um, my behavior had changed. People noticed it. I started seeing a therapist when I was in college, and she didn't get it out of me what happened because I had blocked it so buried it so deep in my mind that it didn't really come back to my memory until after I got out of college and I had children, and my daughter asked to go to her first concert. And I just broke down. It's like all these floods of memory what happened. It was just like the pain of that night. It felt like it was happening right then and there. And this is, of course, almost 20 years later. Not that long. I'm sorry. It's 20 years later, about 20 years later. Because my daughter was around 12. But anyway, that pain, it felt so real. It felt like I was being violated all over again. And it kind of helped me understand my behavior because what I've learned is when a person's been raped or molested or abused, that they have very low self-esteem and they tend to become more sexually active, or it's like you just don't care because it's like after you've been violated like that, it's like I was not myself. I was things I started doing things that was not the norm for me to do. I would use drugs. I had a beautiful home I had built from the ground up, had a daycare. I was a foster parent. I was a volunteer worker. I was a good mom. I my children were in dance, gymnastics. I was on my shit, you know. And that day that my daughter started that concert, I started losing my fucking mind. I couldn't understand what was going on. It's like all these memories was popping up. The pain in my body felt so real. Felt like I was being violated, honestly. So from there, my life went downhill, honestly, for the next 20 years. Married a man who was, I love him dearly. May he rest in peace, but he was very narcissistic. He was very abusive. For 20 years, I was abused, and he ended up committing suicide. But, okay. Anyway, I've been through a lot because of that event that happened that day at that concert. It affected my life. So now I'm not trying to get, what the what's been really bringing it back to surfaces. I've been in trauma therapy. I've been learning to heal, and I've been trying to reach out for years now to these guys, because I do, I just want an apology to Guy Todd Williams, Rahim, to Guy Anthony O'Brien, Brian, Master G, Cowboys No Longer Alive. I just want an apology. And I want them to understand what they did to this 16-year-old girl whose whole life was affected by what they did. Now, mind you, I know they were young, they was the shit, everybody was all into them. I can understand that now being an adult, but they was just doing their thing. But I didn't want to do my thing. I didn't want to lose my virginity. Not like that anyway. You know, not with somebody that I didn't even, I wasn't celebrity struck like that. Even though everybody loved Sugar Hill Gang, I love the music more than I love them, really. The song. I could just went home, played the song, and been happy with it. But they need to know, and other people need to know that, because people are coming out now and they're talking, and people are saying, "Oh, why didn't they come out a long time ago? Oh, why didn't Christian come out and say something a long time ago?" When you're trauma, when you experience trauma like that, you tend to freeze up. You tend to be numb. And I know that experience. I had other incidents that's happened to me, and it's at that time your body freezes up. It's like you don't know how to respond. It's like you can't. It's really weird. Unless you've been there, done that, you can't answer to why people, because people people respond to trauma differently, you know. Um, so I can understand why people wait years and months to say something, because it takes a while to, the I don't know. It's just weird. It happened. You feel that pain, but it's like just telling that story and getting it out there. Sometimes it's more difficult than it is just actually, going through the event, that happened. I understand why a lot of people now are coming out, because they're being triggered by Diddy and everything that he's done. And of course, it's bringing out everybody that he's abused. And so I understand why a lot of them are just now saying something, because now they're not afraid to say something, and they want their story to be known. It helps to heal. That's all I want to do. I'm almost 60 years old. This incident happened 40 some years ago. I want to heal. So if anybody know Sugar Hill Gang, Rahim, Grandmaster Flash, I just want an apology. I want an apology. And I want you to help me help heal other people who's been in the same situation that I'm in. I meet so many women who been molested, raped, abused, and they can't heal. And we need to start healing. Not everybody can afford trauma therapy. I went 3 days a week, 3 hours a day. I also went through grief therapy. I also went through regular therapy for 40 years. You know, I just want resources out there for people who need help, so they don't have to wait 40 years. They can try now to get help and talk about it. I want men and families or women and families who's abused these kids. We were innocent young people. I want them to start facing jail time. I want the people, the judges, to stop looking at because that was an uncle that they don't deserve to spend a life in prison. Yes, they do. Uncles, cousins, your neighbors, whoever, they need to start prosecuting these friends and family who's molesting these kids because it's fucking up their lives. For the rest of their day, fucked up their whole childhood. And they don't understand at that time what's going on. But then they get older and they understand and it still fucks with your head a little bit. It really does, especially men. And so we need to. I had a couple of foster kids who used to tell me that they were molested by their dad or they was molested by their foster parent. It needs to break my heart. So, break my heart. I want to find ways that these kids can reach out. I don't know, but I need an apology first so I can heal, so I can give my grandkids what my own children didn't get because I was sick. I was wrapped up in my own misery. I want to be able to live the rest of my life and stop. I fell in love with a wonderful man, but he can't handle me because of my own insecurity, because of what happened to me at 16 years old. I can't. I am a good person. I'm a good woman. I love cooking and cleaning. I'm a very domestic person that can be very, very loving. But that side of me that's still not trusting, getting angry, it affects relationships, and my husband abusing me for 20 years, it affects me. So I just want an apology. I don't want your money. Help me set up something so we can start educating these women and teaching them that it's okay to report these men who have hurt you. They don't have to wait 20, 30 years and their life is fucked up. And they fucking everybody that they meet because they don't understand. They think that's what they're supposed to do. Their body's supposed to be violated like that. They need to know, no, it's not okay. And it's okay to talk about it. It's okay, press charges. It's okay to help people talk about it. That's all I want. I ain't trying to go after your money. I ain't trying to do any of those things. I just want an apology. And I want you to know how y'all fucked my life up. That's all I want. So I can heal. So I can live the rest of what life I have left. You know? So if anybody can get hold of Guy Todd Williams, Guy Anthony O'Brien, and you know what's thing is, the Sugar Hill game played at the Phoenix Suns game last year or earlier this year, and I worked security at that game. And when they announced them coming, because I really don't be paying attention to who's performing at halftime or anything like that, I just go to work. I don't even know who they be playing half the time or what's going on. I just go to work, And when they said that they were the halftime show, I lost it. I fucking lost it. I start crying uncontrollably. I cried and I cried and I cried because it's shaking. Part of me, and I could have went, because I'm security, went to the floor. I wanted to confront them while they were performing in front of all these damn people. But I realized there was only one of the original people down, and that was Master G. You know, I still wanted to say so. I just wanted to just go down there and shout out what they did to me, how they affected my life, and now they living their life. They all on, they in history. I mean, they billboards. They got their own. Everybody 50 years of hip hop. I mean, they booming. You know what I'm saying? They living their life, and I could live my life. I wanted to go on that floor and act a fucking fool at that damn convention. I mean, at the damn stadium. But I didn't, because there's a lot of people there. I didn't want to lose my job, which I was like, fuck a job. I didn't care. I could have walked straight on that floor, and it wouldn't nobody have stopped me because I have my security shit on. And I would have made it to the floor, and I wanted to so bad. So bad. But I kept my composure. I kept myself together. I went outside and I cried. And I cried and I cried and I cried. That was one of the last times I worked because they didn't understand. They didn't understand why I left my post to go out. And my job was to guard the guys who did the halftime work, Tom and Tom. And didn't nobody understand why I left. Like they were in danger, like somebody was, but I didn't care. I was upset. I was hurt. So I'm gonna I'm gonna do more videos because I have a lot to talk about in my life. I'm keeping it real by Monique, and I'm gonna always keep it real. I'm gonna always be honest about everything that I talk about, things that I know, things I learned, things my experiences, because I've been through a lot in my lifetime, a whole lot, and talking about it helps me heal. I also do deep breathing, so sometimes you might catch me on a video doing some deep breathing, whatever. And if anybody finds that they feel like I'm worth them investing in, and they want to get the hair professionally done and makeup and give me a nice little place to do my set me up a studio in my home, hey, contact me. Come help me out a little bit because I'll probably be worth your investment. Very smart person, but starting with that apology from them. Thank you all very much. Keeping it real by Monique. I did a video talking about what happened to me about 3 years ago. So go back and watch that video under Keeping It Real by Monique. And it's talking about Sugar Hill Gang and how, what happened. It's like as time goes, the more I can really remember more of things that happen. It comes out more. Like I can remember the guy walking up to me. I can't picture his face, but I remember walking up to me. I remember walking to the backstage. I remember how the backstage pass looked. Things is, but I would never forget that kiss, him groping my breast, and that big dick on the side of me that had me bleeding. And seeing LL Cool J with this gay guy walking behind him. And I'm not saying that the guy went to his room or anything like that, but I'm just saying. I told my cousin after a couple of days of me calming down, LL Cool J is gay. He's gay. He's bi. He gay. He like men. Anyways, a lot of them out there like that. All right. Thank you. Please watch my videos. Keeping It Real by Monique. I realized that I have a lot to say. I have a lot to talk about. I feel like I can heal a lot of people. People always come to me for advice. Sexual couples. I reunited a lot of couples. I've helped people out in the bedroom. I'm the type of person that keeps it real. And you'll never get nothing phony out of me. Nothing fake, nothing, no lies here. It's always gonna be the truth. And it's gonna be a lot about my own personal experience. And if I talk about anybody, it'd be talking about me. Thank you. See you later.